with late game execution.
No, ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later for Khris Middleton. Why did they send a 3-time All-Star, an NBA champion, part of that great finals run the Bucks had 4 years ago? Been with the team since 2013, along with Giannis. Done anything he possibly can for this team. I get the trade. I really do. We saw it coming. I think most of us all saw it coming. Some of you cried for Khris Middleton to be traded for Dame instead of Jrue Holiday. I get it. But why did you send him to the Siberia of basketball? You send him to Siberia. It sounds like a punishment. It sounds like he deserves 40 lashes. But then again, that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of business. Like I said, I'm not really surprised. I heard Khris Middleton had to have surgery on two of his ankles. He only got 2 ankles. On two ankles. I'm like, yeah, he ain't gonna be the same Khris Middleton as it was before. And this has pretty much been his MO since winning the finals. Remember in the playoffs, he sprained his knee or something like that? Sprained his knee. And he just hasn't been the same every year. His hamstring. Going actually back to 2017, 16-17 season, I think it was. Or it could have been a 17-18 season. There's always been injuries for Khris Middleton. I think one year before the season even started, he tore his hamstring. But after that, he was pretty much healthy. And then after the finals was over, back to being injury plagued. And now it's just pretty much a shell of himself. He had some good games there and then. They look like his old self. But for somebody who's only 32 years old, it's, I would say, he's aging prematurely, physically, faster than someone. He got, dude's almost close to 40 still out here. And I ain't just talking about LeBron, I'm just talking about other people who's reaching the 40 mark. Seem to be more fluid and less injury prone than Khris Middleton. But good times at the end. Khris Middleton, some of you guys may have known already. Khris Middleton has been traded to the Washington Wizards, the Siberia of the NBA, for one flamboyant IG model catcher. Some of you guys might call him Zesty, under zest, fingernail polishing, hair polishing. Came from Michigan, went to Utah, got drafted by the Lakers shortly after the great one, Kobe Bean Bryant, retired. Supposed to be part of that team that was going to take the Lakers to new heights up until the bald one showed up. The bald one, in hindsight, put a damper of a lot of people, a lot of players, sending them to different places. But Kyle Kuzma survived it all. Went to L.A., Barrett on his skin. I say Barrett, Baron on his skin. And then comes out of L.A. more tatted than a rapper. But during his time in L.A., he did help the Los Angeles Lakers win that bubblicious ring. He did have to push, literally, on camera, had to push LeBron to play defense. Which probably could have sent him out of L.A. to Washington for Russell Westbrook and spent the last few years on Washington just slaving away as a punishment. I think that was a punishment for pushing LeBron to play defense. As a punishment. And he's finally served his time in Washington. And now he's gone to I can't even say a slightly better team, a way better team than what he was on before. With Chris Middleton going over there along with AJ Johnson and some picks. In return, the Bucks get not just Kuzma, but I think Patrick Baldwin Jr., a former standout at Hamilton High School, I think it is, in Sussex, Wisconsin. A 4-out Caucasian, no disrespect, but a 4-out Caucasian, white, suburban neighborhood way out there within the Milwaukee metropolitan area. The kid went to UWM Milwaukee, where his dad coached at while he was there. A Jordan Brand player. Parade All-American. McDonald's All-American. That's the only thing he's named to his whole career. But I think he was also part of that Chris Paul trade. I had to think about it. Yeah, he's part of that Chris Paul trade. The Milwaukee boys got sent to Washington for Chris Paul. And I mean Milwaukee boys, not just him. Anybody remember Jordan Poole? He's also from Milwaukee as well. Played at King before transferring to some school in Indiana before he played at Michigan. I'm surprised they didn't try to get Jordan Poole off there. That's it. It's interesting. Jordan Poole probably cost too much to trade. Too much money. But damn, they left Jordan Poole right over there. But this trade turned the needle for the Bucks. Well, Kyle Kuzma is only 29 years old. I think he'll be 30 this year. They did get slightly younger. I don't know. To tell you the truth, since he's been on Washington, I haven't seen Kyle Kuzma play since he left the Lakers. And from what I remember when he was on the Lakers, especially before the bald one showed up, he was supposed to be the next, well, I wouldn't say the next greatest thing, but he was projected. He was projected to be great. I don't know about all-star great. He ain't turned out to be that. But great. A good basketball player. Good serviceable basketball player for the Lakers. For that young team that they had before LeBron decided to show his ugly head into L.A. But I guess it turns the needle a little bit. A tiny bit, I guess. Like I said, they get younger. I think this might be the only trade they do before tomorrow's deadline. Deep down, I ain't gonna lie. I was really hoping that they would trade Chris Middleton for you know who. But you know who has been crashing out more than what are those things they call when they just crash cars in a stadium or something like that? It's like a collision derby or something like that. Yeah. That guy is crashing out worse than a collision derby. That he's gonna receive the he might, I don't know. The year ain't over yet. It's only February, but the way he's going, he might win crash out of the year if Drake doesn't take him from him, because Drake continues to keep crashing out. I don't know why he keep trying to diss LeBron James. Sorry, going off the grid right there, but this guy, well, not shall say his name. This guy and Drake are probably the biggest crash out so far in the last few months. But yeah, I was really hoping the Bucks would trade for them, but I don't think Pat Riley Well, I don't know so much about Pat Riley. I don't think the one that should not be named was going to come here because I don't know what's going on with him. Nobody knows what's going on here. This guy is bent on coming out here to Arizona for some reason. But people was really hoping that one thing I keep seeing on the internet, people was having a pipe dream of KD coming over to Milwaukee. I'm like, no, that ain't happening. But anyways, in a way, this trade does make sense because Chris Middleton ain't what it used to be. Ain't what it used to be. And they needed to get younger. And so I don't know. I don't know. Does this save them from getting put out in the first round? Well, it depends on the senior, depends on who they play, and it also depends on how they change their tune and tone. The last 3 games, actually, I guess one can be was Portland, Portland, Memphis, and OKC. OKC, they didn't play anybody, which is very weird. They sat out Damian Giannis and then trade none of them and got Kyle Kuzma for it. But anyways, the last 3 games have been a total disaster for the Bucks. It all depends on their mindset. Do you want to win? Who do you play and where the seed ends at? Also, realized they had not had Bobby Portis for some games, so maybe that could have been a factor too for them losing the last 3 games they lost. But anyways, I don't know. It's not the trade I wanted to hear this morning. The trade I want to hear, well, they can't do anything until the season ends. But the trade I want to wake up one morning and find out that it happened is the Packers trading for Myles Garrett. But like I said, that would be a video for a different time. That might be my next video. And I'm well aware of LeBron's flopping last night. So I'm gonna get on that. But anyways, shout out to Chris Middleton for his services for this team for the last, what is it now, 12 seasons now. He's been on here, and not for him. As much as Giannis is a big factor, if not for his big timely turnaround jumpers in the finals, going Michael Jordan at times during that finals run, especially during Atlanta. Just his big timely shots in every game during that season. He had a big shot against Miami that won in game 1. That was the only closest. That was the closest game in that series in round 1 of 2021. He had some big timely shots in game 7 against the Brooklyn Nets. When Giannis was hurt, especially that game 6, he had some big timely shots. Big time, I think he had 41 points in one game. And he had some big timely shots in the finals, like I said. He was even considered to be finals MVP at one point in time before Giannis put out his 50-piece. But shout out to Chris Middleton for what he has done. And we'll see what Kyle Kuzma is going to do.